Okay, time to catch up on some more VOD reviews. We have Beebo here, longtime community member. He's a Thor player, and I don't have much to say on the sort of like micro mechanics of Thor because I don't have much experience on him. I know the gist of how he works, but I'll mostly go over like the timing of your engages, your positioning, and everything else. So that being said, let's just jump into this.
Three, two,
Are you not
one.
distracted by this crosshair?
Got it.
Is this just like a Thor player thing? Okay, so immediately, as a dive tank, especially try to figure out what you're going up against first, and then figure out like what you're going to do. Try to figure out what the enemy team comp is and like what's a danger to you, right? Who you can kill. Um, uh, I would say that Emma Frost, for instance, is one that is scary that you would probably want to avoid, but Adam Warlock is a good one to isolate. And that being said, since you are, you're both dive tanks, you're both going to have to be playing around your cover really well and engaging and disengaging. And how you carry as dive tanks, off tanks, is by using that mobility to very specifically pick specific targets out of a fight. Right here, this is immediately dangerous because of the fact that you are just diving into the team without thinking. uh, Emma Frost has her diamond form up now, and you are entirely pincered amongst all of them. One of the things that people have a frequent problem with is thinking that they always need to do something, right? Your job is to hold the objective, and you don't necessarily have to engage just because you see the enemy team, right? Your job is to hold the space. You are already up here. So I personally would have just stayed in a position waiting to see until I could have like a target isolated or I could bully someone, or hold this space over here to keep them from entering into the point. What you want to do is just hold on to the objective. You don't want to just dive in to do damage just for the sake of doing damage. So be careful, especially with Emma Frost having diamond form. She could have turned diamond and immediately jumped in on you. Because yeah, you're just gonna get poked out just like that. So like right here, again, you are diving into all of them. Uh, Here, you just want to like hold space, right? Just keep them from entering in the point right now. Just keep them from entering the point. Uh, you are trying to find an isolated target. You are not like a main tank. And like right here, what you're doing is you're sort of following like your Captain America, but your Captain America and everybody else is already shooting here. Like I don't think you need to shoot here, right? Magneto though is a tank that if you close the gap on and you take that 1v1, you can bully him. And just like if I was playing Psylocke or something else, a lot of people aren't looking at the person at the very back. So try and find those isolated targets and go for them. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you could be doing more to bully that Psylocke back. Like you heard her uncloak. You have control of the point. Like right now, you don't. There you go. This is actually really good. Yeah. See, that's what I want to see. You find someone an isolated target at the very back who's not being paid attention to, and then bully them. Right now that you've got the lead, get out. Get out. Ballsy. Once you have the lead, take the lead. That's how dive heroes work. If you ever are unsure that it's not safe or not 100% safe and you get the pick, just back out and like let your cooldowns come back or whatever. So here, once again, we're just holding space, right? All you want to do is just keep them from accessing the point. Even though it feels like nothing's happening, like you should be doing something, you don't need to do anything. I will say, though, nobody's watching that left side. One of the things that players tend to not do a lot is they don't take a second to like look around, right? Like, part of your job is to like hold the space and hold the angle. But like if I was over here, I'd also be looking over here at my team and seeing like what's going on. If I'm here holding this side, I would also be trying to turn left to see if anyone's coming from this way, right? Uh, that I want to see more head movements of like turning, looking around, making sure all your angles are covered. That was good. Control the space, bully them out. Make sure they just don't enter into it. I think you're a little unsure as to where to go. There we go. Isolated target. Nice. See, Thor does really, really well in 1v1s. So you want to try and find a target that's isolated like that and take that 1v1. Now that your team has the advantage, hold on to that. This hallway, by the way, very dangerous for you because of the fact that there's no cover to back up to, and you can't get out super quick. So if you ever start to feel like it's too dangerous, you're going to get poked. Get out of there sooner rather than later. Cap will just do cap things, so he's fine. There we go. Look to the left. There we go. Watch the left. Watch the right. They can come from up above as well. Be mindful of that. For some reason, everyone funnels through this tunnel, and I don't know why. I always go up and around. So, be mindful of that like later down the line. But like, I don't know why everyone is always like trying to force this when there's other avenues to go that are safer. I would have waited a second. Oh, like the game was running out anyway. I was gonna say be careful on the engages. Like, when you drop in on the back line, changing your timing to waiting until there's just a second until most of them push forward and you can grab just the support at the back will help you immensely.
Every fight I say to myself, I might go down, but I'll go down swinging.
It's all about timing, right? Dive tanks and off tanks like that, it's all about very specific timing. If you can engage at just the right time when the enemy team is distracted, that backline pick becomes an instant pick, right? There are like waves of damage, right? Like, think of like when a Psylocke or something dives or like a BP dives, there's like a burst of damage, right? If they don't kill anything in that window, then they have to wait for their cooldowns to reset and they have to go back in later. But if you're playing Thor and you also have that burst window, what you're trying to do is sync up the timings of either like the team being distracted or your guys' burst windows lining up. So that way everybody's receiving damage all at once. So making sure that you dive at just the right time will help you a ton. Be careful here. What you're trying to do is once again find an isolated target. I'm not really a fan of this spot over here. This is better. I would personally go up and around the back. Because like right here, I feel like you're trying to frontline as Thor, whereas like I feel like you could jump back here and bully someone from up top instead. I'm not really a fan of holding directly in front, especially with an Emma Frost there. Right now you have the point, so be careful going in. That's why. So like right here, you have control over the point. This is what matters the most. Diving in there when they had an Emma Frost with like a diamond form was really, really dangerous. This is why you don't want to directly just like challenge that. You want to hold them from attempting to access the space. And once you've got control over the point, you just want to hold that space. You don't have to fight, right? So with an Emma Frost, you want to bait the diamond form and then immediately back out and wait for it to run out and then re-engage. Now that he's activated his ult, just get out of there. Lost one, but it's okay. Maybe you can turn it around. Survive the ult. This is good. Here we go. Find someone to isolate in. Taking advantage of the ult so you can just kind of bully everyone in here, which is fine. Yeah, that's good. So far, so good. I'd be setting up right now. I don't really like right here, there's a lot of downtime in which you could push up to like take this space. I kept thinking something was going to happen. But you could be pushing up early to try and scout and see like what they're going to do or like what positions they're going to take. It's kind of lucky that everyone is going to funnel in the same place. But as a tank, when you have space, you want to deny it. Deny them from getting there as long as possible. So your team will generally follow you. The more space that you take, the more space your team is going to take. So don't be afraid to push up and start trying to hold this door rather than hold this ramp. Like any bit of space counts. Like any bit of space matters. Careful here. Thing is frontlining. You don't have to frontline as a dive tank. You should be isolating someone at the back and either pushing them into your team into a bad position or pushing them out of and away from their team. This is a get out of dodge moment. Bully him. There you go. That was really good. Unfortunate for your team. When you dive in directly in the front like that, that's what happens. They all sort of turn on you, right? And then you're gonna get blown up. Yep, that's what I expected. So you know you're down two. You lost your Bucky and your Luna, which means you have limited heals, which means you have to pay attention to where your support is. She's back there, and she's going to be far away from you, which means you then, as you already have control over the point and you're down one, you go to make a play, and that's not what you need to do here. You need to be playing a lot more defensively and a lot more passively, waiting for them to push onto you because you just need to stay alive as long as possible and wait for someone else to stand out of position. You jump directly into both in Emma Frost, a Scarlet Witch here, and a Hawkeye, and Invisible Storm, and Luna's around the side corner here. You are basically doing this by yourself, and no one is here to back you up. Even if Psylocke were to engage, she can't really help you. And Invisible Woman is so far away that she's not going to be able to provide any assistance because she's just going to get poked out by the DPS. And this is the reason why that you die, right? Because now they can all just turn on you and there's nothing that can happen. You went in, even though you knew that you were down, and you had a short range support. And what you should have done here is one, known that you were down, people, and two, check to see where your support's positioning was and how they could help you, because it is much better to try and hold space by playing here and letting them walk up to you. And if it gets dangerous, you can hop down and grab the health pack, or you can hop back up and then you can keep backing up. And then you can stand behind here and get health from your Invisible Woman, and then try and stand back on the point to try and stall for longer. You want to go back and forth like that a lot. Like, you don't want to make a play when you're down. You want to try and stall for as much time as you can. And right there, you went for an aggressive play just to try and get a pick or try and make it even. But like, no one on your team was able to follow up. And that's what I mean by like, the timing of your engages is so important, and who you prioritize and who you target, your target priority is so important. So now Thing is here, but now he's by himself as well. And I'm sure that here he's just going to die immediately as well. And they're going to take the point and trickle. And then everyone else just runs away, which is kind of the thing to do. You died too soon there. And because of it, now your team has to wait to re-engage again. And remember, like, even if you give up the point when you know it's a lost fight, that's not a bad thing, because of the fact that coming back from spawn is about 30 seconds or so. 30 seconds, maybe longer if it's like a less mobile hero, but it takes 9 seconds to respawn, I think, and about 20 seconds to get back to the point. And that's just getting back to the point. That's not like being in a good position. That's just being back, right? So backing up off of the point and giving it up when you know you can't win that fight is better. Because of the fact that you can back up, get healed back up, and be back in the fight in like 9 seconds itself, let alone 30. So here, once again, you know Thing died after you, so now you just have to wait. Trying to find someone isolated out of position. There's a tank. Tank isn't diving in. As your tank dives in, you dive in as well. Right? Fight started, and you're facing the wall. Yeah, good play on shutting her down. I wasn't sure about that at first, but that really worked out. Giving up space. Find isolated targets. That might be dangerous with that Hawkeye ult. Yep. This might be a lesson learned of just like how much damage a Hawkeye ult does. He dove in again, and I would have looked around to see, like, you know, Venom had died. You just heard Hawkeye pop his ult, and that's a really dangerous place to be. You know, especially like, you can take a look around and like see where your team's positioning is. You know, if you don't have an ability to time your engages like with your other tank or with your other dive DPS there, or your tank or your team isn't there to back you up, you know, diving into them is not going to help you, right? It looks like Luna's trying to heal you here, but getting very distracted apparently. Yeah, careful just running straight at them. Thor does really, really well in 1v1s, not so great in just brawling in the group without, just somebody constantly spamming heals. And even then, that's not super great, especially against like a Hawkeye ult. I would have heard that Hawkeye ult, and I just would have tried to play it safe and let time run out, and then re-engaged afterwards with the help of my team. It's like right now, everyone's kind of like doing the same thing where everybody's going the same direction. I don't like that. Try to find different angles. Like if you saw Venom was here, then try to go this way, right? Always try to find different avenues in which you can go. Because the problem is that everybody always wants to like stand next to each other for some reason. I don't get that. Because what you should be doing is everybody's trying to contest space and take different angles. So like if your team goes this way and yeah, and like we had like one DPS here, I'd put like another DPS here or here. Or, me as a tank, if I saw my Venom diving in, I might dive in from this side. You want to try and control different areas and like pincer in on the enemy. So right now you see your Venom diving back in again. He's isolated. This is good. Yeah, you're playing very passive while you hear your Venom ulting and you saw him diving in. It's just kind of interesting because like when you're down and there's like a numbers advantage against you, you dive right in. And then when you have an equal team fight, you're playing very passive, right? Like when you see your Venom diving in and swinging in, even if you're not communicating with him, he's engaging, right? And this is how you have to play around your team without necessarily communicating with your team, especially playing like dive heroes. Uh, when I see my teammates engage in a fight, it doesn't matter if I'm not in the best position or even in the best health. I have to start providing value during those moments because they're providing a distraction or damage, and I need to try and follow up on that because a coordinated attack is a lot better than three separate good plans at different times. Because right there, that Hawkeye was isolated. Their team was distracted by the Venom. He was ulting, and then you backed up. I guess maybe you can interrupt her. But if you weren't entirely confident you could do that, then I would have hidden. Especially like the shield was there. You had this area here to hide behind. Like she pushed her back too. So yeah. There's a lot of uncoordination going around here.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
I'm opening a portal.
Go quick, go quick, go quick, go quick, go quick, go quick, go quick.
A shortcut through space.
Yep, dance on the point, stay alive. Not on the point. Yeah, with the timer that low, you just got to pretty much just stay on the point and hope for the best, especially with your team like showing up, hopefully through the portal there. Die on the point if that's the case. Like if you're gonna do that, just die on the point. There's no point in trying to prioritize survive when it's the end of the round.
Every
30
fight I
seconds
say to
before you
myself,
attack. Get
I might
ready.
go down.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That must have been the point you lagged out.
'Twas but a
Okay.
scratch.
Start getting up and getting ready to put yourself into position, right? Don't just stand there. Don't frontline. You have Emma Frost here to frontline. Let her frontline. Because like right now, people like once again, people should be contesting different areas of space. This right here is Emma's area of space. You have DPS here, which means you probably want to go over this way, right? Like imagine instead of being directly next to your Emma Frost, you went down below. You went this way and you saw like your Psylocke going around. And as Psylocke engaged in on the backline, you engaged at the exact same time, right? That is a lot more effective than you both tanks doing the same job in the same place, right? Also, at the same time, if you're standing next to each other, if anybody's shooting, they're going to shoot both of you right now. Like that's free damage. So try to be contesting different areas of space, right? If your team is going this way, you're going this way because this is what you want to do. Psylocke has the right idea. She recognizes that okay, my team is going up main here. I'm going to try and provide support by flanking from a different angle and either getting a pick or causing a distraction. You should have been right here in this position. This would have been where I wanted to see you instead. You have health. Yeah, you're very unsure as to like where to be, and because of it, now Emma Frost dies for it. You should be you're just always on the defensive because you're not trying to find isolated squishy targets at the back or trying pushing people out. You're taking a fight with the one person that you really can't win. Emma Frost is a bully to tanks and to dive heroes. You want to be trying to take another angle, another position, and find those squishy targets or isolate who you can. Like take a look at their team comp and be like, okay, who can I bully on this team? And you're like, oh, I can bully Invisible Woman and Luna and Hawkeye. It's like, so those should ultimately be your targets, right? You shouldn't be in the area of trying to fight the Emma Frost. And you keep coming in from the front instead of the side. Here, I can kind of understand trying to hold that space because Emma Frost had died, but she died because I think that you were just in a bad spot for that. Like here, now you're just always on the defensive and you're playing passive. Die now.
Again.
Your problem that I've seen so far is that you're positioning like an anchor tank, like a main tank, a shield tank, but you're playing an off tank. And the timing of your engages. Right now, you have a Psylocke, right? You want to be timing your engages with your Psylocke. So like right here, you still have Emma Frost, right? Everybody's trying to force their way through this door. Thor, by the looks of it, still has poke, right? He still has things that he can do. Me personally, there's different strategies you can do here. Everybody's trying to force their way through this door for some reason, and against a Hawkeye, Luna, Invisible Woman, Scarlet Witch, like that's never going to happen, right? So what you need to do instead is dash your way across to this way. You've got Thor, you've got a fair amount of mobility, right? You can come over here and try and like either poke or create a distraction over here, or you can just hop directly to the point and then pull them towards you. So that way you pull them out of this room and you force them to leave. Or you can come up this way too and, possibly walk around this way ahead of time and then get to the point or, flank on the backside. Either way, one of those strategies. Trying to force your way through this door against a Hawkeye who's just aiming at head level and spamming at whoever walks up is exactly the reason why that's happening.
Here come the bad guys.
Everybody's always trying to take like the shortest path to the point and not the safest path. Oh, she's just going for it. I mean, she pulled out an Invisible Woman ult, so maybe? So here you have an anchor tank. Don't dash in. Don't jump into them. Take an angle. Oh, yeah. Wait, Hawkeye's isolated now. Oh, rip. Oh, you're backing up now. Your team is walking forward. Yep, isolated. Fight him. There you go. That was good. I don't think you needed to back out that soon. Now you do. Now that's bad. I think you still could have kept fighting the Hawkeye and Luna. So you still had health, right? And you had Luna over there attacking with you. One of the things people need to do is understand that like when you're a tank, especially if you're pulling the attention of multiple people, like right here, you're bullying this Bucky, which forces the Luna to back him up, right? Now once you start pulling the attention of two people, that means that's your team has a numbers advantage against everyone else who they're fighting against. You want to be able to pull the attention of two people and keep that attention and survive, so that way you give a window of opportunity for your team to do something. That is beneficial. Either that, or you want to take a 1v1 with somebody who is standing out of position. Because that's just putting you sort of like giving your team an advantage. But like once again, here you're dashing on directly into all of them. Like This is pretty funny, actually. Without checking to see, like, okay, where's my team and like what can we do in this position? And like, you know, taking a brief look around before you engage. Because if you would have stopped to take a second to look and be like, okay, our Strange is down, ask if he's got portal, or see where your team's alts are or what's going to happen. Because like right now, you just engage in directly without thinking. You see squishy target, and you're like, okay, now I'm going to jump in. But you didn't time your engage with your teammates, so you have now one, two, three, four, five people looking directly at you, and we know how this goes. Whereas uh, if you would have timed it with your Bucky's ultimate, maybe it would have been better. If you would have been able to, wait until your team was in a better position, maybe that would have been better. Or see if Strange, I think Strange has his portal, right? So yeah. So even though you saw Strange die, you could have looked to see like, oh, Strange died, but it's okay. He's got his portal. Let's just wait until he gets back. And then once he portals on, then we'll engage. But instead, you engaged early, which then caused you to die, which then caused Bucky to feel like he needed to make a play. And then he engaged late. And now everyone is going to stagger themselves. And now, even though you have a last minute attempt to try and hold it, it doesn't really matter because you're just going to walk out of that portal one at a time. And you've staggered yourselves so long that nothing's going to happen.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
Just hold the space. Hold. There you go. Follow up. Good. Target prioritization. No one's on point, though. Oh, someone is. Good kill. No one's on point, though. Yep. That's kind of what I expected to happen. You have to be careful in that instance of, like it's in overtime, you need to be more aware of your surroundings and like what's happening and being like, okay, who can stand on the point? Because ultimately, like, it's great to try and go for priority kills, but you are the tank, which means that you need to be holding this objective space, right? This is not a match that is, at like 80% or whatever of time. Like this is 99% overtime. Like you are the tankiest one that needs to hold this fort down and let your other DPS and everyone else sort of do the work. You need to be holding this space and trying to make sure that it's in there. Cause like right now you just funneled in on like, or tunneled in on the kills. And it led to you guys just losing an OT. So a big thing that you need to work on is taking different angles and timing your engages with your team, right? Like, even if you don't want to be the first one to initiate, wait until you see your team initiate, especially your other tank, and letting your other tank initiate. And then after that, initiate with them, right? Because your timing is entirely off. You're engaging at different times. And like right here in OT, I was so nervous watching you over here trying to get these kills because I was like, he's so far away from the point that if you need to hop on, you can't. And so you have poor little Luna over here, like trying to defend it, trying to hold down the objective herself, and then everybody just fails. Like everybody right now is doing a completely different job, right? Cloak and Dagger actually has a pretty decent eye on everyone up there, and she can hit heals from far away, so good on her. But like, you're chasing the kill over here. Psylocke is chasing the kill over here. Luna's trying to hold down the objective, and nobody is synergizing any of their attacks or their dives or their targets at all. So then you guys just naturally like lose each one of these fights rather than trying to engage at the same time. A lot of the times, let's see here. Yeah, once again, like right here as well, you're not really providing any value here, and you could be back here, right? You could be attacking the back line. You're attacking from the front as Thor, and that's a really bad idea. You could have already been providing a distraction by being back here and timing your engage with the Psylocke. But instead, you enter in from the front, which then just allows you to get poked out. Everyone's already looking this direction, right? But now that your health is low and you're backing out because it's too dangerous, Psylocke is now engaging in on the back line. and now they're all going to turn on her. The entire team is like, the entire enemy team is like, oh, we're going to attack the Emma because that's really easy. Now we're going to attack the Thor because that's really easy. And now Psylocke has decided to engage a second later. Now we're going to attack the Psylocke. Like, you need to be like looking at what your teammates are doing and see what the best position for you to be. And you should be trying to find those isolated targets like you did in the very beginning, that led to you guys getting some early kills, and see like why that was so effective, right? Because like right here, this is what I want. This is what I wanted to see, right? Your team is shooting from this direction. Your team is pulling attention. You got everyone over here, and you're over here, and you see, oh, there is an Adam Warlock who has no mobility, who is isolated away from his team, and no one's looking at him. I'm going to attack him and kill him before his team realizes what's going on. And now that you've done that and you get the kill, now you just get out and then regroup with your team. Now you have the advantage. You just hold the advantage because, like, right here, you were kind of chasing like, your health was already low and Meg was not going to die, and you're getting real close to like danger territory. After you got those 2 kills, it's time to dip. You got the advantage. Don't blow your lead, right? So here, now just get out. You got out luckily, which was still good, but yeah, just duck out a bit sooner when you have that lead. That's the kind of stuff I want to see you do. I want to see you take different angles. Like, if your team is holding this space, you keep an eye on this doorway as well. When everybody is standing directly next to each other like this, Bucky shoots, and if he misses you, he's hitting Bucky. Or if he shoots at Psylocke, he's hitting either Bucky or Cap or you. Like, when everybody is grouped together like this, everybody takes damage together, and you're not contesting different areas of space. Me personally, I'd be letting them hold that area, and I would either be watching over here, or if I saw Invisible Woman over there and she could see if someone was walking through there, I'd be up through here. I would come up this way, and I know that they would still be respawning. So like, my team is applying pressure through here, and look to see how all of these people are coming out of this door, right? You have mobility, so abuse that mobility to get to these places. And then when the enemy team starts to engage in, when they start to walk in, then look ahead and try and find, as they start to push in through the door, find that one isolated target at the back that's not being looked at and go for them, right? That's what you want to do. And then when you either kill them or you pull the attention of multiple people, you get out. More of that. Stop. Don't try to frontline tank as Thor. Don't just dive into all of them. You're going to get blown up like you have been, like you've been seeing. And time your engages with your team. Look to see where your team is. And if you see them, like with the Venom on the second point, we'll go back to that too, because that's a good one for timing.
You look like you could use a hand.
Let's see. There's the thing. I want to see us lose the point. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we have the Venom here, right? Venom, Hawkeye. We're waiting. There. Venom dives in. It's time to get in. Like, the moment that Venom dives in, look at how much attention he is now pulling onto himself, right? He has got 3 people looking at him, which means you need to be in a position, preferably before this, to where you can either dive with him or you can dive another target, right? You know, you've got mobility, you've got shields, you've got supports behind you. You need to start demanding that space and getting in position so that way you can time your engages with your other tank. Because right now, a lot of stuff is, your tank is in there doing stuff, and you are playing really, really passively. Like, you're not sure where you want to go. And then, oh yeah, this was pretty good. You did get that kill on her. But here you can wait this out. Okay, and this was the part where, okay, yeah, like, Hawkeye had ulted. You need to stop, and in these moments, realize like when it's not a good time to engage, and take a look to see, like, before you engage, every single time before you engage as a dive tank, take a look at your supports and where they're standing, and if you engage, if they can see you, right? Taking 1 extra second to just turn around and look at your supports and look at your team and do a quick, check on where their positioning is going to save you so many more times that it's totally worth it, right? Like, one or 2 seconds to look to see if your teammates can help you beforehand is going to help you immensely. Like, all the time, whenever I'm playing Psylocke, I am always waiting, and I look to see where my team is and where they're at, and like where the objective is and everything. And then when I see my team engage, then as Psylocke, I'm engaging with them, right? So I'm always trying to be mindful of the position of where my team is and keep that in mind. And right now you're just playing you're playing off of like reaction and just thinking of like, oh, I'm just gonna go in there and just try and hit my abilities. But here, uh, the moment that you engaged in, the Scarlet Witch started zoning out your supports who were already not in a position to heal you. And your Bucky went to defend them. And then because of the fact that you went in on the Hawkeye ult, you die pretty much immediately.
You
I
captured
think
half of the mission area. Keep going.
same thing here. You see Venom diving in. Venom's diving in. You need to be doing something too, right? And like right here, I remember you saw the Hawkeye. You saw the Hawkeye over here, and instead of going forward, you walked forward and then you walked backwards, right? And he is alting, and you are off of the point, right? You need to be in there with him. You need to be taking space from a separate angle. You saw the Hawkeye here. This is a good opportunity to actually engage this time, and you played too passively. When your team is fighting, you are fighting. Like you don't have a choice on you're engaged. Now something needs to happen, and that's your time to go in, right? And that's how you ultimately play dive tanks and off tanks and dive heroes and stuff. Is that you are you are looking to see what your team is doing, and then you're just making a decision on that. And there have been times too where, like, as Psylocke, I have put myself in bad situations and I was forced to use my alt just to survive. And playing with my teammates, hearing them say, like, oh, we got to get in there now because, it wasn't the most opportune uh, timing to for me to alt in those positions. But they recognize that okay, the fight has now started. We need to engage quickly and make use of the distraction and the damage that I was outputting. And because of the fact that they all followed up on it at the same time, we ended up being able to make a play and make a and capture the point to win. But it was all because of the fact that even though it wasn't the best timing and my teammates weren't in the best position, they heard the fight start and it was like, oh, and they heard me alt and they're like, we got to go now. We have a few seconds of that window in which we can do something. Because that once that window of opportunity is gone, you don't get it back, right? Because that's what happened here where you had this window of opportunity here, right? Emma's engaging, and now you have to back out because you're getting low, and now the Psylocke engages, and instead of everybody timing their engages at the same time, whether they're in the best position or not, it's all happening one after the other, and that's just a matter of like a few seconds of difference, right? Knowing when to go in and when to get out is a game sense thing that you'll pick up on over time. But just know that as Thor, try to find those off angles, like I was talking about, in the first part of the recap, where take those side angles. If your tank is controlling one space, go find another area. Find those isolated targets and look at the team comp and see which people on the team comp you can bully and which type people on the team comp you can avoid. And if you have a dive tank of your own, or a dive hero of your own, try to sync up your positionings and look to see where they're at and try to time your dives with their dives, uh, because that will help you immensely. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all I got to say. Like you started really strong by hitting those isolated targets, and then after that, you just played really passively, and too much on the front line. Make those adjustments and let me know how it goes. And if you have any questions, you can always hit me up on Discord. But anyway, yeah, thanks for submitting this one, Beebo, and we'll catch you on Discord.